What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Alexander here, back with some more Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And the light fixture. Light fixture, light on.
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
Mr. Cashin's dead. Difficult to believe. He led a quiet life. Out at concerts most nights. Shut up in his room writing the rest of the time. He must have been a lonely man. My wife felt sorry for him and helped him as often as she could. I'm in charge of the running and upkeep of the whole building, so I can get dirty now and then. I was just doing some work in the basement. I forgot to put it away after I fixed Mr. Golden's music stand yesterday morning. I left it there, and he came to give it back. The gas quit working yesterday. I don't know enough to fix such things safely myself. A man from the company is going to come by tomorrow.
Never mind, I'm trying to think that it's the Goldman or whatever his name was again.
Ah, yes, be careful with that. It can be dangerous. It reacts badly with heat.
He destroyed an entire orchestra. All those musicians put out of work. A rancorous old man who had no talent or creativity of his own.
I suspect there was more to that mystery than meets the eye. I'm going to look into it.
Locked in to die, so Wicked was the pen of Byron Cashin. That it brought down an entire orchestra. Scathing review upon scathing review eventually led to the demise of all the chamber orchestra. Perhaps Mr. Cashin was distracted by his irregular friendship with his caretaker's wife. He did not realize that one of his neighbors was the first violinist with the ensemble that his reviews had destroyed. That very same Mr. Golden constructed his revenge with care, taking advantage of his access to the screwdriver and the key. Golden fashioned a poison candle using an unusual chemical found in the basement. He turned off the gas at the mains and handed candles to his neighbors, ensuring that his enemy, Mr. Cashin, received the candle of death. Critics beware. There we go. What's next? We'll go over this one. Skill point. Up we go. Oh. Guess we can go down here. Tackle this person, then grab a cart.
I'll teach you a lesson.
Grab this one. No. I do wonder how many we have left. Let's probably check for the grocery log. Oh, the helix thing. It shows how many of each is left. Hello, Charles.
How nice to see you again, Mr. Dickens. Is it time for another of the Ghost Club stories?
As a matter of fact, yes. Follow me.
Number 50, Berkeley Square. 4 stories high and branded, "Beware all those who enter." There have been many strange tales of this dreadful domicile. The earliest report of a haunting was said to be the spectre of a small girl who was murdered by a servant. She could be seen at the attic windows, weeping and wringing her little hands in an agony of despair.
Bertie exaggerates.
Another legend claims the attic is haunted by the spirit of a young woman who purportedly threw herself from the top floor windows to escape her abusive uncle. Her screaming ghost has reportedly been sighted hanging from the window ledge. This residence was briefly owned by a Mr. James Jasper, a choir master and an opium addict. His nephew Edward was betrothed to one of Mr. Jasper's pupils, the fair and delicate Rose. However, Edward disappeared under mysterious circumstances, followed by Jasper himself. Perhaps grief sent him back to the soothing arms of his narcotic mistress.
Alright. Interesting tale.
Easy. Go on.
Shall we?
Absolutely.
Though this house is vacant, some say it comes alive at night with screams of terror, ringing bells, and slamming shutters.
Piano. Ah, piano playing itself. Rats!
Although eerie, this phenomenon is easily produced by pneumatic tubes and valves. There are claims that a young man was caged in the attic, his only connection to the rest of the world a tiny hole in the door. A young man who was reduced to madness by this extreme isolation. The legends all seem to focus on one room in particular.
Window.
A sudden draft. Nothing more.
Yep, I can agree with that.
My word. Perhaps I shall wait here while you investigate the source of that laughter, which is not at all unsettling.
Alright.
Let me go, you moke! Charming. Now tell me, why were you at that house?
What's it to you?
Out with it.
Right. We were there for the treasure. We found a key to the secret passage.
What secret passage?
Yeah, number 50's got a secret passage. Here, take it. Just leave me be.
Alright. Or you. Alright. No. Don't run up the side of the house. Go in there. This way.
I've found a lock, but I haven't located the key.
It's here.
Where? Oh, there.
Ha! So this is how it works.
Impressive.
Get out of my house!
Stand back, Charles.
There was no one. whose love for Rosa came near to equaling mine. It should have been enough to keep my beloved nephew away. My poor Ned. Forgive. I did it!
Huh. Why is he running? Told him to stay back, not run away.
Alas, the myth has been discredited. There was no ghost in Berkeley Square, just a wretched soul, driven to murder and madness by guilt and intoxication. I think this is the makings of a rather fine novel. I wonder if I've got one left in me.
Whoop. And over here, after this, we're going to check see how many we have left of all those. I'll be honest, we are running a little low on those. I'm surprised still haven't gotten level 10. I was expecting to hit it on this recording session, but guess not. Oh, there's still time, because I think this is only like the 3rd or 4th video. There's going to be 7 that I record. So, still time, I guess. Whoop. Rust. Like, I do really enjoy this game. Like, people say that it's like the most unmemorable of all the Assassin's Creed games. I don't see it that way. They've all had their own unique little takes on certain stories and whatnot. Some of them have been better than others, but the one that I've ever found really forgettable was, God, which one was it? I can't remember what name it was, but it was like it was a side one that I think it was supposed to be like after the events with the first game. It was like on the PSP, I think it was. It was like a side-scrolling one. Like, I watched the story of that one, I was like, doesn't really interest me at all. Though if they ever did re-release it, I'd probably play it. Just to see if, it's the same, as I thought it was way back then. My tastes have changed a bit since I'd seen it.
Who's she hiding from, I wonder?
There's been a spate of rather intriguing thefts about town recently.
Robberies in London are hardly supernatural events.
They look like common robberies at first, but these perpetrators have all claimed to have been under the influence of some supernatural power. I'm not so foolish as to forget that criminals will spin any yarn to avoid the law. These thieves all proffer the same defense. They say they were being controlled by a demon.
Alright. Go and find out about this demon. See, these supernatural things, that's right, like, I believe in certain paranormal things. Not all. But it's just I've had a number of completely unexplainable things happen to me in the past that makes me believe in at least spirits. There's some that I'd like to be true, but I don't think they are.
No, she's not there anymore. Well, to cut the line, the baby's...
Like, I'd love for certain, like, creatures like Bigfoot, want to be real, but there's no definitive proof. Spirits, yeah, I believe in those. There's too much unexplained stuff that I've had happen to me before.
What's that man done?
Rob the pawnbrokers down the road. A demon made me do it. I can't remember much. That's what's so queer. I've never stolen anything in my life before.
Let's pretend that I believe you. Tell me who made you do it.
All I can recall is a silver watch, swinging in mid-air. It was held by someone or something. A dark presence whispering. I could only see its eyes. A demon.
I'll need to verify this with the shopkeeper.
Alright. So we got a case of someone being hypnotized. Yeah, another paranormal thing that I believe in, but most of the people that claim to be one, I don't believe that they are. And that's people being able to see the future. Because there's been a few times where, like, I'll go to bed and I'll have what feels like a nightmare, but it might not be anything special happening. And then, like, a month to a year later, that thing happens. Get to make some money on the side. It's like nothing that can be controlled, just something that, like, happens, you know? I don't believe people say, oh, I can control and predict the future. I believe that the people that have it just kind of get it in, like, their dreams, and then they're like, oh, that was weird, then it happens, they're like, wait a second. Alright.
What can you tell me about the robbery?
There's not much to say. Most of the items did come from the same seller. Enzio Capelli, Sorcerer Supreme, a famous showman from Italy. Several weeks ago, he was forced to pawn his family heirlooms, debts. I have the address of the last person who redeemed something of his. A lovely pearl necklace. That helpful?
Not again! Stop her! Stop! Somebody stop that thief!
Run! Come on. We are making no ground. In fact, I think we're losing ground. Crap. That didn't help matters any. Eventually, she has to either run one way or another. Got it.
Where am I? What's happening?
You took something from a pawn shop.
It's all very hazy, but I remember something silver flashing in front of my eyes. Then I heard a sort of bell. Next thing I know, I'm here with you.
My only lead is this mysterious buyer.
Alright. Line this up. Oh.
This chap might lead me to the demon.
Oh, still. Come on, get up there. with that, I'm going to end this here. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.